All right, everybody, hello, and welcome to VR Master League Echo Arena here on Channel 1. So, we got ourselves a match between two top teams in this OCE region, and as I was talking with my fellow casters in here, just before we went live, really excited for these ones, because the matches I've seen among these teams at the top, whether it's Hydra, Horsemen, Leviathan, Outlaws, they've been providing some pretty stellar highlights over the last few weeks. Some game winners, game-winning saves, I should say, and game-winning shots. Some really exciting moments for sure. So, kind of expecting more of the same, honestly. But with that, in the Twitch chat, hello to you guys. On the casting desk, I'm Palidore, being joined by Wolverine, the Wolverine, as well as Cam, who's kind of in the back line for now, kind of watching, waiting, and seeing what exactly we do here. The whole process of it all. It's so complex. But Wolverine, how's it going?
Doing well, thanks for having me. This game's going to be really, really good, especially since they're top 4. I can't wait to see how these two teams will play against each other and what different type of tactics they'll use against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, this region is one that has been on a rapid rise, rapid improvement. Again, we're going from recent history, just talking a year ago, give or take. I mean, we didn't even have this region in competitive play. We didn't have enough teams to field this region. And then, you know, in Season 2, they come in and the rapid rise in the overall skill level, the team chemistry, it was very, very evident from start to finish of Season 2, the difference it made. Then we had a few seasons of, well, this off-season, or a few months of this off-season for the, you know, fall, late fall and the winter, and then came back here into Season 3, the beginning of the month, and it's pretty evident these guys have not stopped playing. They have not stopped putting in the work, because now, I mean, that race is so tight, and these teams are... again, just continuing to get better by the week is a scary thing, following a very similar kind of arc that our main regions, you know, for the first couple years of Echo, in NA and EU, following the similar thing that they did now, and definitely becoming a legitimate, you know, threat are these 3 teams, these 4 teams at the top against each other.
Well, yeah, and especially like how you were just saying with the teams, how it was very, very small league in Oceania, and before it wasn't even like a thing. And now we're even stretched out to Japan with Echo Japan, which I just played with this morning in a pub. And yeah, it's been pretty fun seeing this league grow.
Yeah, definitely. It's on a quick rise for sure. Over the Twitch chat, I got my quick eyes on Punda, who just shouts Palidore at me a little early on. Got Blindity in there as well as Tipu and Freestyling Goblin with the Hydration Redemption. Where'd my Dr. Pepper go? Sabotage. Anyway, good to see you here, as well as Cosmo. Or Cosmo, whoa, sorry. And, yeah, getting ready to start hopefully soon. I mean, we have all 4 players here, and actually my in-game comms are still muted, so if these players are saying anything at me or to me, I mean, I can't hear it. I had to reinstall Echo because I was on the PTS version, and I think it might have messed with my sound settings in-game a little bit, so that could be the reasoning. Either or, we got, I mean, 9 players in here, which is technically 1 too many, but Cosmos, Pally said, I did not. I mean, I can. Did I? I don't know. Cosmo, whoa, oh my. But in any case, starting soonish, I bet. It wouldn't be an unusual thing. I mean, this is, of course, well, you know what it is. Pamwow ain't here at the moment, but you know what it is. It's Echo Overtime. We'll go to the gameplay screen for now. I don't know, I would do the voice, but it's not quite the same if I don't have Pamwow here to goad me. Sorry, that I didn't even do the thing. Here, I'll at least give you the overtime, but yeah, so player has dipped out now, so we got the 4-on-4, which is, well, what you wanna see. And yeah. So for the 4 Horsemen, coming in with this roster of, well, not Tech Rex, that may be a violation, but in any case, Fallen, as well as Fresh, hopefully he changes his name, as well as Bolt, and, It's gonna be a fun name to say. On the other side of things, we do have, as we get started in the rounds, Slamish, we got Dux, we got Spencer, we got Largo Dragon, and now we've got ourselves the first round. So off and underway it goes, and first grab here, Slamish eyeing him down, but on the rebound, it's Fresh to the side and right into the tunnel now as it gets picked off at the trap. Actually, these two players kind of meeting each other halfway. A slap over to the bow tie area as Dux gets that disc. Now sending it low as it goes up high to the ramp. And now back down again to the station area and the trap, and just trying to space out as a near grab from Fresh unfortunately kind of got spoiled as Fallen takes it right back and working hard here to try and get a clear maybe through the mid lane. Now a headbutt play will not produce anything except a turnover for Spencer. Spencer trying to just maneuver around that stack, finally getting back for blue and just dodging the first one, but Fresh is there for the next and dealing a little bit of hurt. And up to the top now of mid lane. Sent out into the orange zone. That is going to roll high into the rebounded arms here of Bolt. So Bolt will invert and trying to convert, but could not. A shot a little bit tough on the angle, unfortunately. So back to the midfield as it's taken by Fresh. And that's going to bounce astray once again. So these teams just trying to find that calm and eventually get those plays going, but trying to wrangle the disc now is the man person of the Pooh variety. Not Pooh Nanners, granted, but trying to go bananas here as they go for the Dusty as well. Largo gets stunned by Fallen. Over to Bolt from the pass and around the barrier, but couldn't bury it, and maybe losing a hand at that, or two. But that said, couldn't get the two. Spencer from midfield. So Spencer now losing the disc, either or. A stun right back to Largo, and Largo to the tunnel. Now Spencer pulling away as the defense tries to take position. And they will get that back to the station to Slamish. Now Spencer going to go for that shoulder perhaps. I got Dux, but actually Dux now being covered, so Slamish will take it instead. Granted, he's pretty well covered too, so defense here getting right up in the grills as Duck. A grilled Duck, in fact, no. Spencer putting the spectacles on, taking that away and trying to hand it off to the nest. But again, the coverage pretty good. More than pretty good, it's just good. It's great. But at the moment, a stun back at them. So all of this aggression is equating to nothing but these neutralized plays as they try to find that goal that almost goes in. You could hear the ding ring, but unfortunately couldn't get the results. So yeah, kind of a haphazard series of moves here. Neither team able to really take much of anything from the other except, well, the disc, but it's not going in the goal is the problem. But trying to collect themselves and calm down. And then again, you're going to see this in matches sometimes. It's not uncommon at all for the first few minutes just to be that warm-up period before you finally get the stamp. And with that, Fresh has finally broken the seal. So 2 points on the board, 628. And what's up to the Twitch chat? I see Meatballer in there. You know, Oculusator was in here in that last stream as, hold on, getting the disc off that joust in what, like 3 seconds flat, just about. 4. Talk about Bolt. Did just that. I was gonna say, Oculusator was in here for that last stream. Corrosion versus Anomaly. Right at the end, redeemed that channel reward. Said, Cast King versus Spaghetti. Said, you don't have to ask me twice. So, I'm not even sure he had to redeem it, to be honest, but it's gonna be casted. Your wish is my command. In any case, Fresh here with the disc. Going across to Bolt! And you see, sometimes, if you just break that first seal on the goal, the next ones come easier and easier as it's a 4.4 second goal followed by a 17-second goal. Starting to now really light it up. But yeah, it is some Monday hype. Not quite Sunday hype, but close enough. As Blue Me in there. Meatballer redeeming the Hydrate. Well, hold on, because that disc was nearly going to be through that mail slot. But Fresh with a eye, but not quite on line. They're still going to recover. Actually, a tap over to midfield, so it will be slapped and immediately pass it. Wow. To Pooh with a 2. And man, what a person. 9 points going the way of Horsemen. And Crazy Kit in there saying, no, he means next Sunday, and it's Tuesday anyways. Nuh-uh. For you. For me, I still got an hour and 10 minutes of Monday left. So what's it like living in the future? Right now, for Horsemen, they see the future, and for them, they're seeing a win. That is a big stun on Spencer, but a big grab from Dux. Dux gets it through the tunnel. So way into the deep blue end and the deep blue sea, and they do indeed see the goal, but they did not see the goalie, apparently, as it will be Bolt once again with a disc, seeming to wrangle that quite often, way more often than not. Seems like Bolt with a grab or a shot, as it goes back into the top end of things. Fresh, maybe a recovery, just past his arms, couldn't quite get it, but a slap to the wall, Largo there, another slap as well. How can he slap? Well, just like that, but up top, another slap, so 3 in a row, and my goodness, slap heavy are these teams, but on the clear, gonna be picked off by Pooh. Over to the bow tie. Now to the side wall, you can see a Largo Dragon with a disc, just has he pass over, and Dux got it with the offhand, it looks like, missed the first cash, then swung around with his other hand just to get the second. But that said, didn't hold on for it all too long, because these players, again, the aggression coming out. I mean, it's a 9-point lead here, looking with 3 minutes left, looking like 4 Horsemen. They have a bit more rhythm going for them compared to Hydra. Granted, the last minute and a half or so has been pretty rough in terms of finding and regaining that flow to their offense they started making. I mean, you had those goals, about 3 of them in the span of 40 seconds or so, probably less than that. But since then, it's kind of been back to a deadlock based off of, well, a lot of gridlocks and a lot of stunlocks as Spencer tries to find a clear, perhaps, and Spencer getting it back again, so has a second try. Yes, sir. But back to the midfield and Fallen. But they can't get up, at least not anymore, as it goes back to the side wall. Now struggling on this clear will be Fallen. And sending it over to the backboard as they will try and regather, but a lot of stuns being slung left, right, and center of the face. As Largo Dragon now trying to put it through the midline. Had no angle at the tunnel really, so just had to try and bounce it. And it will be Fresh with a retake. Fresh trying to send it to the mid lane. Fallen and Fresh. But yeah, just less than 2 minutes left. I mean, despite the fact that 4 Horsemen kind of have lost their rhythm once again, it's not going to matter too much. Trying to get one more, and they do. Finally, after a, 2:43 of play, they do find that the bottoms of the goals just took them some time. A little bit of time. But time is money. Shot was money. So Slaymish with the disc. And 122 remaining. So they have a chance here to maybe score and break the seal in their own right. I mean, if they can get something going in this final minute for them, they can at least, you know, put that under their backs and say that, hey, we were able to do something. We were able to make a foundation, you know, laying it for the second round. That said, Dux picks it up and, well, loses it to Fresh at the tunnel. Over to the midfield will be Fallen with a disc. Now, Dux sending it through to the blue. And a lot of stuns happening here. Just observing those players trying to find their grabs. And now just trying to find the disc, actually. Dux chasing them down. So a duck through the sky and put a feather in that cap as Largo Dragon. We'll talk about wings. But Dragon losing that one as Pooh flings. Whoa, that's gross. Nonetheless, up top, Fresh. Gotta make the most of that play. They're up to the 13 points. And the round starting to wind to a close. With 22 left in this one, so maybe one more score about to happen, but we shall see, we shall see. Alright, so With a quick joust, they might be able to get something going, and frankly, they need to get something going. Instead, though, just getting the bell rung by Pooh Man. And with that, oh man, that's the first round in the books to the Horseman, or Horsemen, as the case may be. Over to Wolverine. What's your thoughts on what we just saw here, and what's Hydra maybe have to do, because the rhythm was a little bit rough.
So with the beginning of the first half, with them not scoring, they both did very good on their attack on each side. They were both spacing and passing at the beginning of the game, but Horsemen's regrabs were a lot faster. So on those clears, coming back and going forward, they were both a lot faster. And they were able to get to the disc a little bit quicker. Once they scored that first goal, it just gave them that rhythm just to push it in and just keep going, kind of push down Hydra. When with Hydra struggles to recover from that, I even wrote it down, and the feeling, where is it? Oh, they're not covering the bubble enough. Just in like it wasn't the goal the very last goal, but the goal before that, where it was pretty much almost a 1v1. They should honestly keep a little bit more tight spacing and keep more of a man-on-man defense. They're being pulled out of the goal a little too much. They're also trying to rush a lot, so they need to just try and stay together. They're being a little too clumped up.
And yeah, definitely a lot of the clumping is something that can, well, make things tough to start feeling that rhythm, that flow that we're talking about, because it does turn into these wild clears more often than not. If you don't have the passing option, what else can you do except kind of fling it and hope for the best? That said, I mean, you can see part of the reason that they're having a rough time getting a rhythm also is just the fact that a lot of aggressive play outside of the bubble. You know, neither team really allowing the other one on a lot of these occasions, at least in the first round, to walk it straight into the bubble. I mean, they are playing outside of it. Here you can see, you know, Spencer trying to contest Fresh here and doing a pretty good job of it. And meanwhile, the bottom of the floor, again, pressing outside the bubble. So definitely not giving them too much room as they do try and peek a pass right through to Bolt. Bolt, the wind up, and no, but the cleanup, but Slaymish slays himself and drags it in. And Fallen, lauding that one. Ooh, that is tough, because that was a good save, but worse stuff. But okay, with that, I mean, 4 Horsemen. They get their first 2 points. Technically. So Bolt with the disc and trying to find a few more, but just misses. A rebound going to be had by Pooh and couldn't get it through. So instead, Largo Dragon losing that out, looking like another play to the cross, and oh, just the bottom ding on the post as Fresh winding it around with some jukes. Some more jukes. He had a headbutt play. I don't even know what that was, but was an attempted, I don't know, headbutt. He did basically a dab without using the arms, if that makes sense. I was confused for a moment, but nonetheless, Spencer to the other lane, and no one really there to gather it. And with that, Fallen taking the disc. Silverridge in there saying, hurts me as a goalie to see that. Well, Silverridge has a reason to feel hurt. I recall that game last week, of course. Silverridge had quite a few of those saves. Turn into self-goals, mainly because of ping, less because of being drug in. But that said, Pooh man person. A lot of syllables in that one. But Fallen with the assists and 4 points. Up for 4 Horsemen, looking to continue what they've been up to, which is to say, dominant first round, 13, and a goose egg on the other side for Hydra. Thus far, trying to maintain that trend, looking at it. So with that, Fresh couldn't get funky, but still looking nicely onto the goal for Fallen on that shot. So this time, it's technically Pooh assisting Fallen, so vice versa of what we just had. But good gather back off of that barrier, if nothing else. pundits saying those are eyes. Well, look, they've got some eyes and they got some ice, as they are indeed cold, not in the shots, but in their veins. It's 10-0. Just the same. Kotetsa. It's me, Sir Dimwit. That's no. Palidore, of course. Usually. Usually. If it's OC, usually it's either me or Pam Wow. Granted, possibly about to change quite soon here. Got a cam jamming in the background and looking to cast fairly soon, as well as Wolverine on the sidelines. But all the meanwhile, gonna be gathered at the floor by not Fallen apparently because their eyes. It's Fian, and they're finding themselves those cross passes, but getting right by them. As oh, look at the jukes right there. However, that was nice. The crossover to Fresh, and Fresh it was. Dozen points. That was pretty sweet. So I've gotta say, the jukes and then the delivery. So usually if a QB, if a disc holder gets that disc and they get those jukes, they feel good enough. They feel confident enough. Like, oh man, I just broke his ankles. Usually you're gonna see a shot. Usually. But that time, just being unselfish with it and saying, okay, I got my jukes, I got my partial highlight, but you know what? Now I'm going to give it to my teammate. I'm going to let him finish the play, make it a little easier and get everyone involved. So that's a nice job from them. That said, over to the trench, it's going to be picked up by Spencer. Eventually, Spencer, the no-look tap up to Slavemish, so getting cheeky with it as they do try to seek out their first goal, crossing it right underneath the backboard, and taking it is Largo Dragon. Largo over to the shoulder and ducks, trying to find that, but the angle a bit too tight, unfortunately. And Largo, a rebound, but not able to get the score. One more rebound, however, as it gets to Slavemish, but Slavemish with the stun, or getting stunned, I should say, as Slay and Ducks try to get back into the defensive end. And they do. They do. Silver Ridge saying Hydrate was out of stock, so I had to do some backdoor trading to sell me a Rehydrate. You sound like you're putting too much effort into this. Me? You're calling me a tryhard? That's rude. I haven't been called that since I was a player. In any case, to Ducks with a disc. Poo man person sending it over. Nah, not trying hard at all. You want to know how you know if I'm trying hard? As a shot goes in for Poo. If you hear some boom to my voice, that means I'm going throat voice. But no, I'm see. Pro tip for casting, if you use your head voice, you get kind of, you know, up here in the face and the mask. It's not as straining on the voice. People want to know the secret of how I can cast for days and days and dozens of times and 100 times a month. Well, I use my nose. That's a secret to it. My speech is all through the nose, the nostrils. Isn't it smelly? I don't know, but right here, it's Fallen with the disc, or Fian, as the case may be. But it will be stunned by Dragon and Fresh now meeting each other in kind of a double KO. Slaymish with that disc is going to send it deep into the trench, the upper trench, that is to say, which is kind of what's the word? You know the one. You know, paradoxical. No, that's not it. Whatever the case, it's going to be taken by Ducks. Fallen with the disc here at the mid lane. I mean, at this point, as Fallen shoos away, and now they're just going for the wave. I'm not sure whether this is fun or toxic, it's one of the two, but either or, trying to make some more sick plays, and, well, talk about it. It's Fallen. Shots are Fallen. But yeah, they are reaching the summit here, it seems like, and I'm scared. I've got auraphobia, even. Sorry, I saw that really late, Meatballer. You redeemed that quite a long time ago. In any case, though, over to the midfield. I know, I'm sorry, I did not see that until a few minutes ago. But yeah, it will be. I feel like someone redeemed that a couple days ago. Was it you? I think it was C. Jason. C. Jason was kind of trolling us hard with those redemptions. But anyways, Bolt here with a disc is gonna bounce it and almost actually getting it off that backboard, but just hitting the lip and now trying to hit them in the lip. But no, it's Slaymish right back at them. Sending it back to the midfield. So, Pooh Man with the send-off to Bolt. Or, sorry, wait, it's an I. Boit. But 18 points for them. So feeling good, obviously. I mean, with 2 minutes left, unfortunately for Hydra, just not able to put together the showing that they wanted to. You know, the other 2 or 3 matches of Hydras that I've casted have definitely been very close and stellar, and just Very contested with these teams, but not quite able to get a good rhythm going. I mean, really for both of these teams, that first round was a little bit rugged for at least the first half, but hold on, that shot is almost on as they do rebound it. But yeah, since then, obviously, with 18 points, 4 Horsemen just looking in full form, basically. Not making too many mistakes anymore. I mean, you can tell by some of the stees and some of the dancing that yeah, they're kind of in party mode right now, and oh my goodness, that was almost reminiscent of a cam jam from Season 1, with some of those whirly twirls, and trying to hurl it into the goal, but instead just goes right out for Bolt. So instead of getting fancy, well, starting to look a little bit too loose and lax. What are those cases where, you know, I'll kind of hold my tongue, because I know in OCE in particular, ever since last season, I see this so much from OCE with these highlights where they go dancing and having fun. It's hard to say whether they're tongue-in-cheek or they're just plain cheek. So I'm not sure if they're being cheeks right now. But with that, Bolt with it, and we'll end it. 20 points on the board. And with that, the Mercy will be had. So, first round, that's in the books, and we're gonna go to the score screen, or second round in the books, excuse me, and off that sweep, 4 Horsemen, I mean, they really pulled themselves away in that round. I mean, didn't struggle to score at all compared to that first. But, Wolverine, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, they just used, 4 Horsemen just used their momentum from last game. They just really put in their full effort just at that beginning and kind of put Hydra right under, and Hydra couldn't even pull themselves out of it. I felt like Hydra during their defensive, they kind of played a little too aggressive to the point they were coming too far out of the bubble. And then 4 Horsemen were able to counter that. So then Hydra wasn't even back, and 4 Horsemen just made it easy to capitalize on their goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it was a tough showing for sure. Meat Baller in there saying cancel Horsemen. Once upon a time, I remember where Spaghetti almost got canceled for about a week. Who was it? Against Gambit. Do you remember that, Meat Baller? Not a call out, not a call out. I love me some Spagoodles, you know that. But I remember that week, and it was for a lot less egregious of a offense compared to, I think, what we just saw in the last few minutes. So, it was just a single ding. A ding dunk. One of the reasons I remember that, of course, Meatballer, is because, you know, one of my teammates did that once upon a time in a big match, so anytime I see the ding dunks, I typically recognize it more than I would other forms of, hot dogging. Anyway. Meatballer saying I'm a changed man. I believe it. I believe it. Nothing else because of the 15,000 channel points that Oculus Hater paid earlier. I'm contractually obligated to say so. But yeah, we will, with that said, I mean, taking a look at the stats, it's 11 points for Fresh leading the way, but everyone getting in on the party, really. Bolt with 7 and 2 in the points and assists. You had Fallen with 5 points, 2 assists, 2 saves. And then Pooh with the 6 points, 4 assists, and 23 stuns. On the side of Hydra, I mean, you know, they could not get the points. But they did get some defense at least. I mean, they had, you know, the majority of the saves in comparison. It was just kind of the endless assault coming in from Horsemen, which did them in a bit. But, you know, 4 saves for Largo and a couple steals. They had Slamish with 5 saves and a couple steals. Ducks with a save and a steal, 31 stuns as well, which second highest in the match. And then Spencer with a steal and 14 stuns.
Yeah,
that said,
Orange just had a difficult time capitalizing on their chances when they were on the attack, and then that would have maybe given them the momentum to push into the goal.
Yeah. And see the chat asking about a Fallen. Well, Well, I will let the mods handle that one, for I am no longer in that position. I say with a smile on my face and then and regret, because I know Punda is out there thinking, oh, why me? Nah, they'll look into it, I'm sure. But Fallen, as I was told, was Tech Rex. So now, whether it was changed to the website before the match, I mean, hopefully it was. But in any case, why you, Punda? Because you're there. That's what it comes down to. But yes, I think that will do it for us here on the stream. Anything pertinent that I happen to miss besides Auraphobia? Which I did get in there. No. I feel like if I had more time to think about it, maybe I could have done something more clever. I just had to like do a quick Google to make sure it's not something I would regret saying. But other than that, I mean, we're good. So that will be the final stream here of the night. We had 3 here today on this day 1 of Monday/Tuesday for, of course, our OCE friends or our European friends, if there are any of you guys joining. Basically, anyone anywhere else in the world besides the west coast of NA, you're in Tuesday. For me, ending the Monday right, okay? With a stream here on VRML Channel 1. Now, with that, Meatballer apparently building a case. I want no part of that. Not at all. But in the meantime, you guys at home, have a good night or day. Be happy, healthy, safe, of course, and good to each other. And take note of that, especially in relation to what's going on in Twitch chat. You know, good to each other. And we'll see you again real soon. Have a good one. Season 3 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Rebuff Reality, Asterion Products, ProTube VR, VR Cover, Fixed Gaming, and VRware.net.